It's now time for Around Town on KWN Community TV Channel 7. The views and opinions on tonight's program are not necessarily those of the staff nor the management of KWN TV 7 and Dade County Broadcasting Incorporated. Now, let's go Around Town on KWN TV 7.
Well, here we are, Dex.
Yes.
Got my little son with me here again today.
Little.
He's been, yeah, you're taller than I am, aren't you?
By a lot, yeah. But that's okay.
That's okay. Yeah, Rex couldn't make it today. And we miss Rex, don't we?
Yeah, Rex is my friend. I love Rex.
Everybody loves Rex.
Yeah, we had our first session of Rex and Dex a couple weeks ago. I was looking forward to that again, but it's all right.
He's not feeling well today,
Yeah.
but he'll be back. He'll be back with us.
Sure.
He's probably at home
When he
writing a
can.
letter
Yeah.
to the newspaper.
His last letter. His 1 millionth last letter.
Yeah,
He always tells me I'm not doing it anymore. That was the last one.
He'll write this letter, and then he's like, "This is my last letter. I'm not doing it anymore. I'm telling you, I'm not doing it anymore."
Yeah, retiring. That's what he's told me.
Yeah. But I'll tell you, we have something special for you today. This has been something I've mentioned on here a few times about doing, but we just never had gotten it together. But if you've ever been to a veteran's funeral
Okay, right.
or a memorial, they do they fold the flag up and give it to the I guess the next relative, like the closest relative, like the mother or the wife,
right,
or possibly a child or whatever. I mean, I know we've all seen this. If you hadn't been to a funeral and seen that, I know you've seen it on TV.
Right.
But the big thing is, well, you just tell us about it, Dex.
Tell you about what exactly? About the flag in
Yeah.
general?
Well,
Or
this is what bothers me.
Yes.
You know, coming up in a house with me, you know,
Yep.
you have some patriotic parents.
Yep, you've got a big old flag out in your yard. Yeah.
Oh, I've got a big schoolhouse flag in my yard.
Yeah.
They had to concrete it in and all that. I mean, just like a schoolhouse flag. But I've just always been real patriotic. When I was a child going to school, I can remember every day as a child in school, that was one of the first things we did before we started our day. We pledged to the flag.
Yeah.
And I can remember pledging to the flag and really didn't even know what the words meant. I probably wasn't even pronouncing them correctly. But I knew that it was special. And I knew that it meant something. And as a little child, I can remember standing there saying the pledge and getting choked up. Couldn't explain to you why, but I did. And so, it was always real special to me. And I hate to turn the news on now and see these schools that are having to fight to be able to say the pledge and see these people burning the flag. And then this gets me worse than anything. When a person tells me they're running for office, and then I find out they won't even pledge to the flag. And everybody that watches this show knows I'm hardcore Republican. But let me tell you, I'm American first. And if you won't pledge to the flag, I'm not voting for you. I don't care what else you stand for. I don't care what else you've got to do, what you've done in the past. That's a deal killer for me. And I have ran into politicians, and I remember the first one I ran into was probably 12, 15 years ago, up here at at some fair, Dade County Fair, I guess, Dade Days, and the guy was really nice, and I said, well, and he sounded good, and I said, somebody told me something about you, and he said, what was it? I said, somebody told me you didn't believe in pledging to the flag. He says, oh, but now let me explain that to you, why I don't. I said, you don't? I just knew it had to be a lie. And so he says, well, now let me explain it. I said, there's nothing to explain to me. And he said, no, but now listen. And I said, no. And I wouldn't even listen to him. And I said, you just lost my vote and anybody else that I can talk to persuade. I said, if you can't pledge to our flag, but yet you want to serve in some capacity? Do you understand why that doesn't make any sense?
Yeah, I've always wondered about that too. I feel like, I mean, especially for a lot of politicians, people know that a lot of politicians don't mind stretching the truth. And of all the things they do that they don't really believe in, of all the things they say that they don't really believe in their heart, I wonder why they can't do something as easy as pledge to the flag, because I feel like that has to lose them votes, and they have to know it loses votes for them. I don't understand why they couldn't feign that, if nothing else. Do you know what I mean?
I do.
Yeah.
But, I'm going to brag on Dex a little bit. When, Nathan was a scout leader for like
A long time.
about 14 years.
He had 2 good stints, both Boy Scout Hall of Fame worthy, I guess. He did, I don't know, 10 years for, no, less than 10 years for Cub Scouts, maybe 8 years for Cub Scouts, and then a couple of years off, maybe 3 years off or something, and then Boy Scout troop leader for another 10 or something like that, maybe a little less. So 15 to 20 years leading.
So we're real patriotic. To be a Cub Scout or a Cub Scout leader, you've got to be patriotic. But it was instilled with our kids that you pledge to the flag to the point that when Dex was in high school.
Actually, in middle school, first.
Okay, but now you wasn't driving in middle school.
Yes. You
was driving in middle school?
No. I mean, that's right. I wasn't driving. Are you about to talk about me doing the flag duty?
Yes.
Yeah, well, I did that in middle school, too.
Okay.
Dad just made sure to drop me off early enough so that I could.
Well, he noticed that at school the flag was not being taken down and put back up, and also the flag was tattered, wasn't it? At one of the schools it was.
Yeah, there have been a couple of those, yeah.
So for years, Dex took it upon himself to go and do the flag every morning and every evening, and then when he got to driving, he would just leave home early. I mean, you did it for years until somebody else kind of picked it up and carried it on.
Yeah.
And then I'm just kind of bragging on you, Dex.
That's fine. That's fine.
And then I remember when he got his Eagle Scout award, the American Legion had this big, do you remember the big nice plaque?
Mm-hmm.
They had made up for Dex. And I should have brought that because I have it at home, I think.
Is it still at home?
It's either at home or with you, but I know we've got it.
I was thinking maybe it was lost in the tornado, but I
No.
can't remember. Oh,
No,
okay.
no, I've seen it since then.
Okay.
And it was so nice. They wrote up this big thing about how, for years he had made sure that Old Glory kept flying. And I mean, it was just, it was a proud moment for me because I thought, you know what? I have instilled some good stuff in my kids.
Well, and I think I also remember, I don't remember if it was Mr. Jeff Mullis or if it was the other guy. There was another guy that was at my Eagle ceremony.
Jeff Mullis was there?
Jeff Mullis was there, and someone
and then
else.
The state rep, Martin Scott.
Okay, maybe it was one of them. One of them gave me a flag that was flown over the state capitol.
Jeff Mullis.
Maybe it was him. Yeah.
Yes.
I
Our
remember.
dear old friend Jeff Mullis.
Right. Yeah. So, and I think that one is still around too. I think that one's still around.
Your mom
I think I've
has
seen it.
all that stuff in the cabinet, I'm sure.
Okay.
In your old apartment.
Okay.
If it's not at your apartment now, it's in that cabinet.
Right.
But anyway, so I've been threatening or promising that we was going to come on here. I wanted somebody to come on and explain what the flag is, what the flag means. And so, Dex, you want to just take us into that a little bit?
What the flag means?
Maybe we should take
It's too open. I mean, the flag.
Well, maybe we should take a quick break, and bring one of the guys up from the American Legion to talk with us.
Sure. Yeah.
Because people at home that are watching this, you know how sometimes I'll just be sitting at home and some documentary will come on and I'll start watching. I'll be like, well, I didn't know that. I didn't know that. So I'm hoping maybe there's people at home right now thinking the same thing, and they're going to learn something today.
Sure. I'm all for it. Let's go. Let's play for the Super Bowl.
Well, let's take a quick break and we'll be right back.
Check out these exciting specials going on right now at Cloud Auto Sales, Highway 71 in Higdon. A 2003 Dodge Ram pickup 1500 four-door with all the buttons, only $49.95. A 2007 Chevrolet Silverado 1500 four-door extended cab, only $69.95. Hurry by to see us today. Warranties are available. Highway 71 in Higdon. Like us on Facebook, 597-3273. Rayburn Cloud. Come on by before you buy. CloudAutoSales.com.
Julie was always a voracious reader. She'd carry 2 novels on an airplane because she'd read one on a 3-4 hour ride. I'm sure it was gradual, but one day I noticed, there's no book at the bedside anymore. It got to the point, though, where it was taking her longer and longer to read a book. And at some point, I began to notice that she'd read one page and have to go back because she couldn't remember what it is she had just read.
We realized this was something we had to talk about. I don't remember much these days after I read, but less does for me, and I love it.
Come enjoy pizza for lunch or dinner in a family-friendly atmosphere at Stevie B's Pizza in Fort Payne. Enjoy the buffet and salad bar anytime, or have a specialty pizza made to order. At Stevie B's, take advantage of 2 Stamp Tuesday for adult and senior buffets, and Thirsty Thursdays when drinks are free after 4 p.m. Take out any medium pizza weekdays between 2 and 5 for just $4.49. And on the weekends, take out any 2 large pizzas just $14.99. Book your parties now by calling Stevie B's at 256-979-1234. Stevie B's Pizza, 2200 Galt Avenue North, Fort Payne. Citizens Tri-County Bank, the only community bank Marion Countyans will ever need. At 402 North Cedar Avenue in South Pittsburgh, 4765 Main Street in Jasper, and at 14087 Highway 28 in Whitwell. Providing the highest standard of customer services with a personal touch. Our associates can help you with personal loans, personal lines of credit, a variety of mortgage loans, and more. And we offer real-time internet banking too. See us in South Pittsburgh, Jasper, and Whitwell today. Citizens Tri-County Bank, the only community bank Marion Countyans will ever need. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender. When you need a licensed plumber, call Stacy Ledwell and the staff at Mr. Rooter in Scottsboro. Mr. Rooter provides your home or business with advanced solutions using high-tech equipment. Our commitment to customer satisfaction shines through in our personalized service. When you schedule an appointment, our professionals will dedicate time to explain the work that has to be done. Our staff will give you upfront pricing, so you'll know exactly what's involved before any work begins. We even pump septic tanks and do new construction on houses. Fully licensed, bonded, and insured, Mr. Rooter in Scottsboro. Call Stacy Ledwell today to set up an appointment at 256-574-4710.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much. We are back at Around Town. We have 4 people sitting at the table, which is a treat. And nevertheless, I'm the only one not in some sort of very nice official uniform, which makes me feel just raggedy. But that's okay. We have 3 gentlemen here from the American Legion. I'm going to let them introduce themselves, as I'm sure they know how to best do that. And please give us a very brief synopsis of, I see that you guys are got all these nice little colors over here and stuff like that. Tell us what all that is, and we'd just like to know generally who you are, for those that don't know you.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate the privilege of being here with all of you today. And it's important for you to know that we're honored to be a part of the American Legion Post 106 in Trenton. And even in addition to that, and more than that, honoring our fallen veterans. We, being a part of this honorary honor guard, I call it, we have honored over 200 funerals of fallen veterans locally here. And that is truly an honor. But even more importantly of that, caring for those who are left behind from that veteran. We also explain a little bit of the detail of the flag, and it's important to all of us as patriots. I'm Earl Reef, and this is Alan Bradford and Jim Blaylock. We do the folding of the flag, I cite the flag, and in addition to that, part of that service is that we have a rifle salute and a bugle taps to finalize that service in honoring that fallen loved one. Jim Blaylock also, after it's folded, presents that folded flag to the designated recipient, which is usually the wife of that fallen veteran. And then we also offer a certificate of appreciation for the privilege to be there, to serve you, the people, and this fallen veteran. And I think I don't want to go overboard on that, but I'm very excited and honored to be a part of this.
Oh, well, we're glad you're here to tell us. Absolutely. If I could, I'd like to start with this one question. I doubt you've ever been asked this, but I don't think it'll be too tough. I've done a lot of world traveling, as you might know, and one thing I've noticed, I've been to about 15 countries at this point, and this is the only country I've been to that really holds the flag in very high esteem. Some of these countries, people really love their country. They do, but they don't necessarily think so much about their flag. Like even in a place like China, I just assumed, because Chinese people, they're very patriotic, you could say. They love their country, but the flag in particular doesn't have any special significance. No one that I ever met knew much about the process of raising it or lowering it or folding it, or, you know, they never heard of like a flag retirement, which is something we take very seriously in this country. So yes. I just wonder, why do you think it is that our country has honored the flag so strongly for such a long time?
Well, when you see the red in that flag, and I make a comment about that in citing the flag, that represents the blood of a lot of people who sacrificed their life for this country. And that in itself, that alone signifies the importance of the American flag and what it means to the veterans and should mean to every patriotic citizen. And in that citing, I mentioned the blood of 1,354,664 American men and women who laid down their lives for you and me and this country and this flag. And that goes from the Battle of Bunker Hill to the present. And I'm sure there's more. But that alone, I hope that answers your question. But right away, that color in the flag is just a very small segment of the importance of why we need to honor our flag. It should never touch the ground. And when we retire a worn, tattered flag, that flag should not be thrown in the trash. There is, by law, a protocol and a process, and we're asking people who have those flags to bring it to our Post 106, put it on the front bench, and we will dispose of it properly and appropriately.
Where's that again? Can you mention?
That's the Post 106, American Legion, Post 106 here in Trenton, right off Main Street, just opposite and down next to the cemetery from Bank of Dade.
Okay, excellent. Yes, thank you. I did not know that there was a law about that in particular. Yes. I just thought it was just like this etiquette thing that I learned in Boy Scouts, actually. And one thing I've always wondered, this might even seem a little silly to ask, but I remember when I was a kid thinking this, when I learned about the flag retirement. You know, we always retired, you know, these kind of big flags, I guess, flags that we actually flew on a pole.
Yes.
But then, you know, sometimes you see these smaller flags around, like you'll see like these little flags on a table or something.
Yes.
You even have like the little thing, like on little plastic flags. And I assume you wouldn't retire those. You wouldn't give them the same treatment as you would give the one at the courthouse, for example. But I don't know. I've always just kind of wondered about that.
Well, it just depends on the person's attitude. Attitude is everything, and I think a flag is a flag. If it's our American flag, we need to treat it with the respect, no matter what size it is. So that's where I'm coming from. I hope that makes sense.
Sure, yeah, absolutely. And I've always wondered certain things about flag retirements because, again, I was in Boy Scouts, so all my experience stems from that. And, you know, so I was in a Boy Scout troop here in Trenton, and then I would work at summer camps in different cities and different states. And I found that different people have a slightly different method of flag retirement. I've always wondered if there's a standardized process. Like some people, they cut out every individual stripe, and then they'll cut the stripes into small strips. And some people will cut out every single star individually. Some people just take that whole blue part together and discard of it that way. So how should someone go about doing this?
I'm not familiar, unless the other
My
gentleman...
understanding is that you're supposed to burn the flag, and I do see people do that all the time. We cut the stripes out, cut the stars out, which I don't feel there's anything wrong with that because you're still using it as a benefit to the individual that has those stars or has those stripes. But as far as the military is concerned, you're supposed to take those and burn them to not ever see them at issue ever again. And thing that really bothers me, and I'm in charge of the transfer station, sometimes I go down and see these little small flags people have thrown in the garbage. That really affects us as veterans, because most of us have been in a war, we've been involved in things like Vietnam and the conflict, Korea,
Sure.
World War II, and all these different wars, and so that does affect us as an individual. And one thing, I'm kind of like Monda, I'm very patriotic, and when I see somebody burn a flag, that really affects me. And I've never been to an instance where they burned that in front of me. I've just seen on news. And so
Right.
as a veteran, that really does affect us. And I think as far as just throwing the small flags away in the garbage or whatever, when you see that, that also affects you. And I have taken them out. When I've seen them laying on top, I just pick it up and take them out, because a lot of people know me and they bring me their flags, and I take them to the Legion to be burned the correct way. But I don't think it matters what kind of flag or how big or how small it is. I mean, that's just my personal opinion.
Sure.
And everybody's going to have a different opinion. And I was in Boy Scouts too, and I think I might have made Eagle Scout if I hadn't got drafted. I waited too old to get going. But,
Oh, wow, really?
Yeah, I didn't make it past Cub Scouts. I shouldn't have said that.
I made Star Scout, was getting ready to work on the other end.
That's the best excuse I've ever heard for not making it Eagle Scout. Most people, they just got lazy. Not you, quite the opposite.
I was probably lazy too, but that's one of the things I got drafted during that time. But the flag means a lot to veterans. Most veterans, you'll see very few veterans that don't adhere real well to the flag. And even, like I say, the small ones does affect me. I have seen that. I do see that. I don't say a lot, but I do get affected when it's a larger flag that you see people throw away and just throw on the ground. And I hope that I'm never in a position where somebody burns one in front of me.
Sure.
Right. I'm not saying I'd do anything, but it would probably be a huge catastrophe. Because I'm just not that kind of person.
Right.
We appreciate what Earl does and appreciate what Jim does in our group. We're all getting older, and we're always looking for younger people to come in and join the American Legion to help us out on these, because most of us are anywhere from 65 to 75 in our group. And we do have the 21 gun salute and the firing, so older guys can't just stand there all day and hold the rifles up and fire. So we are looking for younger people, and we're looking for anybody who wants to join the American Legion, because it's a big change now than what it used to be. And we have anywhere from probably 50 to 60 to 100 people every meeting anymore. So, and if you went and asked every veteran about the flag, I think you're going to hear basically the same thing.
Okay.
Absolutely. From everybody. I don't think that's going to change.
Right. Okay.
So, and even in Vietnam, I was in a helicopter. I had a little small flag on my helicopter, and most of the guys was in tanks at that time, had flags on their tanks, and so it's very appreciative from the military group of people in the world. So. And I think it all goes back really to Hiroshima when they raised the flag. The Marines did. That really made a huge impress on all the people in the world at that time. It's a huge thing.
Oh, you think so? Okay.
I think it affected a lot of people at that time.
Okay.
To see those guys do that during that time of war.
Just that statement.
That statement, yes.
I see. That, sure, maybe onto something there. So I'll try to stop geeking out so much about stuff that only I've ever thought of. I think one thing that people always wonder, which maybe you're going to talk about this a little later. You can tell me if you are. But there's a very particular method to, of course, folding. I think everybody knows that. But when you finish folding the flag, it must take. I see it right here on your shirt here. The triangle shape is there a particular reason for that? And then when it's that shape, you have to carry it like this, if I recall. I haven't done it in a long time.
There's the significance, which I will bring out in the sighting of the flag.
Okay.
Is the reason why it's a three-cornered flag is it represents the three-cornered hats worn by our original Revolutionary Army, who brought us and was victorious in bringing our independence as a nation. And that's the reason we celebrate the 4th of July every year. So it's very significant.
When you hear Earl do all repetition, we're totally different than most people. Most honor guards, we go to a lot of them that don't say anything, but we do each fold and speak every fold, and he'll talk about that during that time. And so we're a little bit different than most, because we've been to a few other military funerals. It's a whole lot different than ours, but most of the people that talk to us say they really appreciate the way we do that, because it is different. And Gary Bell is one that really issued that and got it going to that position. When we first started, I think in 2014 or 15, somewhere in that era. But it's been very well accepted in the county, and now it's almost, if an individual dies, he's a veteran, we're almost there every time. And we have gone to a couple of other counties with people that are related to people in our American Legion, so we don't mind doing that either. So But most of the funerals we have done has been people that are from Dade County, which is over 200 at this time. And you really can't have a full-time job and do this because you never know when you're going to have to take off and go do it.
right.
So most of the people are retired. And we do have 2 or 3 people that are able to make it because of their job. Most people that nowadays you have to work to make a living. You can't just quit or whatever you're doing. But we do have a good group of people. I think we have 16 to 18 people involved now. And most of the time we always have plenty of people. So that's a good thing for our county. I appreciate Water County and backing us and helping us in things that we do as far as the American Legion is concerned.
One of the things that you'll hear me bring out is that, and which is not done, we're one of the only ones that does this in the sighting of the flag. There are 12 folds, and each fold has a specific symbol and meaning, which I bring out to the public.
Okay.
And I've had a lot of people come up to me after the funeral and say, I never knew that before. And that's the significance of sighting that flag. It actually intensifies the patriotism of everybody there. And I'm honored to do that. And it's so important that we do that, not just fold the flag and hand it to the surviving recipient. It's important for everybody standing there that's supporting that family who lost a loved one, that they see the patriotism and what our flag means and its symbols. So I wanted to bring that out. It's very important.
Of course. Yeah, excellent. Thank you. Yeah, I can't help but think about this, so I'll just mention it. When I was doing this, particularly when I was handling the raising of the flag and the lowering of the flag in high school, I remember, I guess it was not so hard of a job to do, but I remember Bill Lockhart was on my case all the time. If ever any little thing went wrong, like if it just started to rain a little bit, maybe I wouldn't notice it because I was in school, whatever, and he would send me a message or call me, say, you better go get that flag down, it's starting to rain, or something like that. He was always on me. I think at one time he tried to get me to make sure the flag was raised right as the sun came over the mountain every morning or something. And
that sounds like Bill.
I don't think he succeeded to do that because I was not going to get to school that early, but I did my best to make him happy. But I think now we're going to make we're going to take a commercial break. We're going to come back and we're going to see one of these big flags, and you're going to do this 12 folding and explaining. And
yes,
I'm sorry if I'm grossly underestimating the significance of that, but we'll be right back. Thank you very much.
Landers McClarty Ford, home of America's hardest working truck in Fort Payne, Alabama, invites you to start the new year off right with a 2019 Ford F-150. 0% financing for 72 months and up to $15,000 off selected F-150s in stock. See Landers McClarty Ford for complete details. Landers McClarty Ford at 1916 Glen Boulevard in Fort Payne, Alabama, or shop on the web at Landers McClarty Ford. FortPayne.net.
The Moore family name has built a legacy of trust, compassion, and peace of mind by standing with families during time of loss. Now in our 70th year, the Moore family commitment grows even stronger, from affordable, traditional services to cremation. Our experienced staff stands ready to follow through on you and your family's wishes. Since 1945, the Moore family of funeral homes, North Sand Mountain and Trenton, always dedicated to those we serve.
I worked 12-hour shifts at the recycling company with my dad, who's 72. That taught me a work ethic that I carry with me every day.
When you're running your own business and taking care of your disabled brother, you tend to learn about responsibility pretty quickly.
I was living in a shelter, juggling 3 jobs. I had to be resilient. That's something that you can't teach.
Growing up where I did, a lot of things could have gotten in the way of my goals. But I learned to push through. And that's what I bring to work every day.
My parents weren't fluent in English. So in school, I had to be independent and take initiative. And that's how I handle every project I get.
Gigabit Internet residential service is now available to customers of the North Alabama Electric Co-op with NAEC Fiber in Jackson and Marshall County. Residential gig service is now available for only $79.95. Call today to have your gig service installed at 256-437-5000. High-speed fiber residential gig internet service now available to customers of the North Alabama Electric Co-op with NAEC Fiber. Business and commercial customers can get gig service too. Call for pricing 256-437-5000. Gig service from North Alabama Electric Co-op. 256-437-5000.
Come hungry and leave satisfied at Cloud's Pizza, Highway 71 in Higdon. Cloud's Pizza uses only the freshest ingredients, and we hand toss our own pizza dough. Our pizzas are made from scratch when you order, so they're always fresh. And don't forget about our famous Sand Mountain cheese sticks. You can eat from the daily buffet or try a mouth-watering hamburger or cheeseburger. Come see your friends at Cloud's Pizza, Highway 71 in Higdon, and never leave hungry. Call ahead at 597-3100 for Cloud's Pizza. Visit us on Facebook at Cloud's Pizza and more.
Come see us at Cloud's Pizza.
Hello, I'm Earl Reef. I'm a member of the Honor Guard and member of the American Legion Post 106 in Trenton, Georgia. And I want to introduce, first of all, Alan Bradford and Jim Blaylock. We are the flag folders for the Honor Guard at funerals for fallen veterans. And we've done over 200 of them in the local area. And what we're going to do today is picture where this flag is, which is normally draped across a veteran's coffin. And we were going to raise that up. We're going to fold that flag. I'm going to be reciting the 12 folds of this flag and the significance of it for you as patrons and we as veterans. And when you're ready, gentlemen, we'll start that right now and hold that up. The American flag has great symbolism for every one of us, particularly for those who've gone in harm's way to defend it. And even though the flag is not an official symbol, the 13 stripes you see in the flag has a definite correlation to the 13 colonies that went to war with the despotic British crown. The stripes you see overall in the flag is a symbol of the rays of the sun. But the red to me as a veteran is a symbol of the blood of 1,355,664 American men and women who laid down their lives for you and me, our country, and our flag from the Battle of Bunker Hill to the present. The white you see in the flag is a symbol of innocence and purity, of which the democratic principles of our very way of life and our country was founded. The stars you see in that beautiful blue field is a symbol of heaven and the divine goal of man as he aspires through time immemorial. We'll now take a moment to prepare to fold our flag. There are 12 folds to our flag. Each fold has a significant meaning and symbol to us as citizens, but even more importantly to us as veterans. And I will share that with you in a moment. The first fold is a symbol of life, life itself. And the second fold is a symbol of all our belief in eternal life. And the third fold, that's in honor of the fallen veteran, actually all veterans who took time out in their life to serve in our nation's military. The fourth fold is in recognition of our weaker nature as human beings and as a nation too, and our need to turn to our Creator, our Father God, for direction in times of challenges as individuals and as a nation, truly today. The fifth fold is in honor of our nation, and in the words of Stephen Decatur, who wrote, "As a nation dealing with other nations, may our decisions always be right, but right or wrong, my friends, it is still our country." The sixth fold is in honor of our military, who go to battle for you and me, and our flag and our country to defend against enemies foreign and domestic. The seventh fold, that's where our hearts lie. When we put our hand over our heart and we pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all of us. The eighth fold, That's in recognition and memory of a very special human being to me, and that is our mothers. And the reason we fly the flag on Mother's Day to honor those wonderful mothers. The ninth fold, that's in honor of all womanhood who care and nurture and direct our children to be responsible citizens in our community. And the 10th fold, that's in honor of all the fathers who help bind that family together and add to that direction and nurturing of our children. They not only grow up to be responsible citizens in our nation, but they also will be potential leaders of our nation and our community as well. Okay. I've been asked to move a little bit, and I think I'm there. Okay. The 11th fold is in honor of our Hebrew citizens. For when you see that flag with the three corners, to them, that is a symbol of the half star of David, in honoring their God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. The 12th and final fold of our flag is in honor of our Christian citizens, in honoring their God, the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. We'll give a minute now to finalize the folding of our flag. Now there is our folded flag, and you'll notice that the flag has three corners. And you might ask, why do we have our flag folded in three corners like that? The three corners of that flag is in honor of the three-cornered hats worn by our Revolutionary Army, our original Revolutionary Army, who achieved the victory of our nation as an independent nation. And that is why we celebrate the 4th of July every year. And something so important but yet so simple is our country's motto. And it's printed on the dollar bills. And that is simply, but so powerfully, in God we trust. Especially in today's challenges, individually and as a nation, it's important to trust in God. We now have, am I in the way, is our little packet that Jim is showing. That little packet we fold into the folded flag. And you might ask, well, what's significant about that? In that little packet has 3 cartridges. They're spent cartridges with the name monogrammed and the position in the military of that fallen veteran. And when a veteran or a person joins the service, they raise their right hand and pledge to honor, duty, and country. And that's the significance of that's folded in the flag. And at this time when the flag is folded and that is tucked in there as well, we now traditionally present that folded flag to the designated recipient, which is usually the spouse or someone that's designated specifically. And do you want to go through that, Jim, to share your comments, what you would do? Proceed.
On behalf of the President of the United States of America, American Legion Post 106, and a grateful nation, we present this flag to you in honor of the service of your loved one to this nation. May God bless you and your family.
Thank you, Jim. Also, at this time, the next step is we present a certificate of appreciation for the privilege of us as the Honor Guard to be there to help support the family of that fallen veteran that we want to honor at that time of their funeral. And then we present that, and the next thing we do as a part of our performance is we have a 21-gun salute, a rifle salute, and a bugle taps. And that finalizes our performance at the funerals. So honored to be here today, to honor you as patriots and citizens, and to honor our veterans. And I pray God's blessing upon you, as well as God bless the United States of America. Thank you.
Georgia Northwestern Technical College is now accepting applications for classes
We offer programs in business, health, industrial, and public service at 6 campus locations with financial aid options as well. Take day, evening, or online classes to get your degree, diploma, or certificate. Apply now. Drop by one of our campuses today or check us out at gntc.edu, Georgia Northwestern Technical College.
At Comfort Gallery in Kimball, you can truly shop for any piece of furniture from any of our manufacturers. Drop in today and use our in-store kiosk. It's over 40 inches of full color, completely interactive for ease of use. And yes, you can shop all of our manufacturers for virtually any piece you may be looking for. Come to Comfort Gallery in Kimball to find exactly what you need for your home using our kiosk to shop from all of our manufacturers. Free delivery and setup, 1 year free layaway, and 6 and 12 months same as cash available at Comfort Gallery, 780 Main Street, Kimball, Tennessee.
Get it.
Get it.
Get it. Get it.
Get it, get it.
Is she gonna get it, Daddy?
She'll get it. Get it. Get it.
When you bring home a Goodwill find, you give your whole town a reason to celebrate because you're also funding local job training and placement programs in tech, healthcare, and more. Goodwill. Bring good home.
Hey, that cold weather is coming, and it's never too early to get your winter supplies from Rising Fawn Hardware and Supply. 4300 Highway 11 South in Rising Fawn. Everything you need to wrap pipes under the house, winterize around the doors. Make sure your outside faucets are protected, and keep those drafts from coming through the windows. Get your supplies for fall and winter for the home and farm today. Rising Fawn Hardware and Supply. 4300 Highway 11 South in Rising Fawn. Telephone 706-462-2071. Have lunch or dinner at Guthrie's, home of the original Golden Fried Chicken Finger and the best chicken finger sauce in the world. Guthrie's can help you plan your family's meals or get-togethers with bucket specials every Tuesday, those delicious wings on Wednesday, and platters every day of the week. Plus, get sweet tea by the gallon. Remember, Guthrie's has a party room for small gatherings, too. Guthrie's, Highway 136 West in Trenton, home of those Golden Fried Chicken Fingers and the best chicken finger sauce in the world.
Guthrie's, not fast food, good food fast.
And here we are once again. Gentlemen, that was wonderful. Thank you so much. I did not know a lot of those things. I actually knew how to fold the flag myself. I didn't know the significance of the 12 folds, anything like that. That was really great. Thank you very much. I'm sorry. I'm still a little sick in my throat. And I heard one of you mention something about what the American flag means in the world, off camera a little bit. Can you talk a little bit about that? Can you expand on what the American flag means? Because I know, traveling all over the world, everyone knows this flag when they see it. Not everybody knows the flag of the Philippines. Not everyone knows the flag of Germany or Portugal, but everyone knows this one.
Well, to me, the American flag, no matter where you go throughout the whole world, and as us veterans, I've not been completely around the world, but I've been nearly around the world. And wherever you go, no matter what language or what people know the American flag. And what it represents to people around the world is freedom. That's why most people want to come to America. Freedom. Because most countries don't have the freedoms that we have here. Of course, we know the reason that we have the freedom is because of men and women and the sacrifices that have been made to support the freedom, whether it's freedom of the press, freedom of religion, freedom of speech. All the different freedoms that we have is because of men and women and what they've sacrificed in their lives for these freedoms. I'm thankful to be an American. Of course, I'm most thankful to be born here on Lookout Mountain in Dade County. I'm proud of our county. I'm proud for we have most men have answered the call all the way back from World War I to the present time. They've answered the call to go for the freedom of this nation, to be in the military. And, of course, we've been through a lot of turmoil. Us three that's sitting here, we were during the Vietnam conflict and a lot of difference of opinion, but we answered the call. And I'm thankful for that. I'm thankful for all the men and women in Dade County that when they were called upon, they left and went and served their country. I'm thankful for our nation. I think we've got one of the greatest nations on the face of the earth. Why else would people all want to come here from all countries throughout the world? They want to come to the United States of America. I'm thankful for our men and women. Thank you for this opportunity to be here to represent our county and what our flag stands for. I'd like to encourage veterans throughout Dade County. If you've not been to the American Legion, I'd like to encourage you to come down. We have a meeting on the second Tuesday of every month. We have the Ladies Auxiliary provide a meal, and it's a wonderful meal that they provide, and give you an opportunity to see what the American Legion is involved in. We're involved in schools. We're involved in a Sea Cadet program right now. We're involved with helping veterans in different situations, and our American Legion is not the same as it was back in 70 or 68, and I'm not putting it down. I'm saying it was different at that time. We're a post now that has the best of our community and our county at heart. We try to encourage patriotism in the schools with young people, for respect to their parents, respect to their teachers, law enforcement. That's what the American Legion is about, and to honor and respect our flag. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. Wow, what a great answer. Freedom, warts and all, a beautiful thing, don't you think? I can't help but I have to ask this question. This demonstration that you just gave us a few minutes ago, how often do you do those? I'm just curious.
Every funeral.
Every funeral that we're asked. We don't go to funeral homes and ask to do these funerals. Larry Moore and also David Ryan. This is offered as a service when a veteran comes to one of the funeral homes. They say that we're available to do a veteran's funeral. We're asked to do it. We don't go out and solicit, but we are available. No cost. It doesn't cost anything. We do this everything we do is purely voluntary at our own expense. We get no substance from anybody or anything. Everything we do, our uniforms, all this, we pay for it ourselves, each individual veteran. And now people do make donations, and the donations, for the most part, go for the ammunition. Ammunition, they're blanks. They do, and the rifles that we use, we did have to buy those, purchase them, but it goes for that. And these little black bags that I put the spent shell casings in, those casings, by the way, has the veteran's branch of service, the date of their death, on them, and Allen engraves each and every one of those bullets. They're put into these black bags. Of course, those are has an expense to them. So, if we do get donations, that's where the donations go to. It doesn't go for us or anything. It goes for the material that we use. Of course, the flags are donated by the post office. We get the flags at the post office for the deceased veteran, and but that's where it.
We did have different people that came in and donated for our rifles, which was a huge success. You know, we had both funeral homes donated, plus we had a few people that donated. That's how we ended up with the rifles, because they were expensive at the time of this. Most people don't know this, but we were about to lose the American Legion. And everybody got together and was able to work and was able to pay off a loan of $168,000 in about a year. And so its title is clear now, but at that time when we first started, we didn't have the funds, and so people donated. and it has a huge expense because most of those rifles ran anywhere from $400 to $500 a piece. And we all have, and we had the old M14s, and people couldn't hold them up; they were so heavy. So we went to the lightweight AR-15s, which worked real good, and people our age can hold them up without too much trouble.
Sure.
I'd like to say one other thing.
Please.
Gary Bell has been the
ringleader,
the leader of this whole honor guard in this. Since we've started this about 4 years ago with Gary, we have now got a branch of 106 that's at Rainsville, Alabama. And they've got their own honor guard because we were going to Rainsville, we were going to Bryant, we went all over. But they were able to start their own honor guard out there at Rainsville, and they have a full rifle team. They can do complete funeral services. And even now, Gary is in the process of helping Fort Payne start their own honor guard. And this is it's really helped us because that took a load off of us because sometimes we're doing 4 funerals, 5 funerals a week. And of course, when Gary started the Post 106 Honor Guard, that relieved Sequatchie was doing all the funerals here in Dade County because we didn't have honor guard. So as all of this has progressed, we've seen more people get involved in this, and it's a blessing to the family, to the community, when a veteran is honored with these the last things that they hear is taps played at their funeral.
And we do it differently than most because we verbally show and explain the 12 folds, which many of them do not, which makes us a little unique, going that extra step. And our reputation is growing very positively and expanding. I just heard from Gary Bell that we may have a family who was in the military, which is 2 ladies, 2 women, a mother and a daughter, and they want to be on the honor guard. That's a first. So unique and positive situations are occurring, and I'm very proud of that. I'm proud to honor, to pay for something that I have the privilege to be a part of, to honor our flag and our country and our veterans, past and present.
Well, thank you so much. If there's nothing left to add, I think we're about out of time, and we've had a really great time with you. Thank you so much for doing the whole show for us, basically. We could have just let you guys do it all, but maybe next time. So this is Around Town, and we will see you next week.
You've been watching Around Town on KWN Community TV Channel 7. The views and opinions on tonight's program are not necessarily those of staff nor the management of KWN Community TV Channel 7 and Dade County Broadcasting Incorporated. Join us every week for another edition of Around Town on KWN TV 7.